According to Edward Gibbon, an 18th century captain in the New Hampshire militia, the wind and the waves are always on the side of the ablest navigators. One of the ablest navigators among St. Francis alumni and in the United States is Rear Admiral Robert T. Conway Jr. Admiral Conway was commissioned an ensign the year he graduated from St. Francis, and our country has recognized his outstanding abilities by promotions and ever-increasing responsibilities around the world. In all his assignments, and now as Commander of Navy Region Hawaii and Commander of the Naval Surface Group Middle Pacific at Pearl Harbor, Admiral Conway has demonstrated his leadership skills, his commitment to excellence, and his dedicated service to our nation. While wishing him continued favorable wind and waves, St. Francis University is proud to add to his many other commendations by honoring Rear Admiral Robert T. Conway Jr. as Distinguished Alumnus in National Service.
Okay, I know I'm between you and the bar. I will try to be mercifully brief. Are you sure you can hear me in the back? Father Christian, I also have something for the school. As the father said, I'm the commander, Naval Surface Group, Middle Pacific, and Commander, Naval Region, Hawaii. Part of that honor is I live in Pearl Harbor. I have a flag here that I'd like to present to the school, and a certificate of a flag presentation. And I'd just like to briefly read this. It says, this flag is in tribute to the American fighting men and women killed during the attack on Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. The national ensign flies continuously from a flagpole mounted to the battleship USS Arizona. During the hours of darkness, this flag will be illuminated. The battleship rests in 38 feet of water, is no longer commissioned. It was stricken from the active list in 1942. This flag was flown over the Arizona, July the 4th, 2002. You're going to have to humor me. Carol and I traveled a long way. I'm going to start it off with aloha. One more time. Aloha. Very good. It's a funny little word that the Hawaiians use that has multiple meanings depending on when it's used. It can mean hello, goodbye, love, welcome, or a spirit of giving and sharing. Service is another word that can have multiple meanings, depending on who's using it. Albert Schweitzer said once, the only ones among you who will be really happy are those who will have sought and found how to serve. And as far as Carol and I are concerned, Albert had it right on the mark. The path that we chose is visible from the uniform I'm wearing. A little bit different than it was 30 years ago when I was here, and what was going on in the world at that time, and now what's going on in the world today. I wear the uniform of a great and unique country, but make no mistake about it, today we are at war. Americans' fondest desire is simple: safety from violence, the rewards of freedom, and to live the American dream. We are the benefactors of the greatest generation. Many are here tonight. We are the product of an America learning lessons from the forgotten war, Korea, our no-win war, Vietnam, the Gulf War, and now the war on terrorism. Today we face a threat with no precedent. The dangers to society have not gone away, nor will they. Our lives have changed forever. Normal peace-loving Americans don't understand lethal conflict resolution. Americans naturally wish to avoid any form of conflict, no matter what the unrecognized cost. But the cost of being unprepared is totally unacceptable. We cannot defend America by hoping for the best. In our world today, the only path to safety is the path of action. We must take the fight to the bad guys. President Bush recently remarked, "Americans have always believed in the ethic of service. Americans have served and continue to serve because their conscience demands it, because their faith teaches it, because they are grateful to their country, and because service brings reward much deeper than material success." Regardless of which path we have chosen to find our means of serving, we must continue to educate throughout this nation. We need to leverage every occasion to help others think about and understand better what lies ahead. Through our daily examples of living values, we must all stay attuned not to just what's going on in our world, but more importantly, to what our families and fellow citizens make of what's going on. Our most dangerous enemy remains ignorance, disinterest, and isolationist tendencies, which only contribute to misunderstanding and misguided judgments. We can do better. We must do better. Your tours of duty, like mine, have not yet ended. I challenge you to continue to set examples that others admire. Help us better understand each other and the values St. Francis taught so many years ago. Albert Pine once remarked, "What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. What we have done for others and the world remains and is immortal." Continue the tradition of one generation handing off wisdom gained and lessons learned to the next. An American tradition we must preserve. Service has no age restrictions nor limitations. This is the very essence and soul of Americans. We love our God, we love our country. As Americans, we define this as one nation under God. Thank you for this recognition. God bless you and God bless the United States of America.